Welcome to Stories and Lessons. My name is Amy Ebert. I'm your host for today's podcast. Welcome back to the series, All Things Leadership. I'm sure you all remember the hit show Seinfeld, right? At a minimum, you've probably at least heard of it, no matter what generation you might be influenced by. It's that timeless sitcom about nothing. But don't let that supposed nothingness fool you. Is the show really about nothing? There's clearly gold in the seemingly nothingness of the show, or it wouldn't have been such a hit. Today we're discussing 4 key takeaways from the show that definitely aren't nothing, focusing specifically on their relevance to leadership and building an audience. Let's dive in. First on the list of 4, read the room. Reading the room is key to understanding your audience's mood, engagement level, and receptiveness to your message. It allows you to adjust your approach, pacing, and content to better resonate with them. Top comedians meticulously refine their sets by testing material repeatedly with their audience before assembling it into a special. By observing body language, facial expressions, and verbal cues, you can gauge whether they're attentive, interested, confused, or enthusiastic, and in the case of comedy, laughing. This insight empowers you to tailor your communication style and ensure a more meaningful and impactful interaction with your audience. So don't forget to keep an eye on the room and adapt accordingly for successful engagement. Number 2, seek feedback from trusted sources only. Ensuring you seek feedback solely from people you respect and admire within that particular area only allows for focused refinement and improvement. For instance, I'm not asking my gardener how to get a good deal on a yacht, unless of course he owns a yacht and negotiated a deal. As modeled by Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David, they exclusively sought advice from each other only, no one else. When it came to their writing comedy for the show, they worked it out together only, sometimes painstakingly, but they didn't consult with the producers or the heads of the network when it came to comedy writing. The producers gave them notes on the show. They ignored them. They ignored every single one of them when it came to the writing of the comedy and how it all plays out for the audience. So make sure you get feedback from people you respect and admire in that particular area only. And 3, stay true to yourself. Staying true to yourself is essential for maintaining authenticity and integrity in your endeavors and building trust. Jerry has stated in interviews that he knows his crowd is the Friday night crowd, for example, and that Wednesday night's group just doesn't resonate. During his conversation with Jay Leno on the show Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, it became apparent that Jay takes an alternate approach. He tailors his performance differently, recognizing that each audience has its own vibe. He improvises and adjusts his set to cater to Wednesday's audience after knowing he's got the Friday crowd down. Either one of these approaches work, but in the case of Seinfeld, the series, Jerry knew his lane and chose to stay in it and brought in Kramer, Elaine, and George to fill in the gaps and broaden his audience that way. This commitment to staying true to yourself allows you to keep a genuine connection with your audience and ensure that your decisions and actions align. So remember to stay true to yourself and let your own unique voice and perspective shine through. Number 4, respect your audience's time. Respecting your audience's time is akin to demonstrating your appreciation for every moment they invest in you. Recently, I caught an interview with Jerry on Graham Bensinger's show where he shared an intriguing insight. Jerry mentioned how he meticulously times his sets, aiming to wrap up within 1 to 2 minutes. Anything beyond that feels off to him, almost like a disservice to his audience, even by as much as 5 minutes. He did the same with the number of seasons in Seinfeld. He knew when it was time to get off the stage. Just imagine that level of dedication and readiness in leadership. It's pretty remarkable and clearly leads to the big, big money. I'm feeling generous, so I'll throw in a bonus tip. Improvisation and flexibility. Remember that episode where George kept attempting to close the trunk of the car and the trunk kept popping back up and wouldn't close? That wasn't scripted. It spontaneously showed up unannounced and turned into comedic gold. Clearly, they left it in. Everyone remembers it. It was a perfect, hilarious button on the scene. So there you have it. Seinfeld may be a show about nothing, but it's got plenty of lessons for leadership and building an audience if you look closely enough. Having said that, thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you got value from what we've provided, why not spread the love by sharing this episode with someone? Subscribe to or follow the show so you never miss an episode, and give us a positive 5-star review or a thumbs up, depending on which platform you're currently on, and share with others. For more stories and lessons, check out some of my other episodes in the series. Thank you for showing up, and be well.